viewer, welcome to Multimedia Plus online television and to another exclusive edition of our broadcast. I am Eustace Victor Jones. In our top stories, Vice President Dr. Mohammed Jule Jallow visits the Freetown Male Correctional Center following the recent fracas at the facility. Now, residents within the capital Freetown raised concern on the 3-day lockdown instituted by the President. And also, the Public Relations Officer of the Sierra Leone Bar Association has told Multimedia Plus online TV that the 3-day lockdown instituted by the government is timely in the fight against COVID-19. Now, as usual, all of these stories and more are lined up in today's news broadcast. I am Eustace Victor Jones. And now for the news in details. The recent fracas at the Freetown Male Correctional Center was one that left some prisoners and prison officers dead. The Vice President, Dr. Mohammed Jule Jallow, pays a visit to the center. For more on this, let's join our reporter, Fatmata Bintu Jallow.
Properties and food items were charred in the incident. The intensity of the fight was fatal. The destruction at the center is quite remarkable in living memory. The Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mohammed Jule Jallow, has paid a visit to the Pademba Road Male Correctional Center following Wednesday's fracas and found the magnitude of destruction quite astonishing.
So the prisoner then broke that wire mesh there, then come off the cell. Not also DG, exactly according to the incident report. But like what we say, there is an investigation committee where they are. This investigation committee, they don't get them post meeting, they don't set up themselves, they don't begin to do their work. Then they go bring a deeper insight into all the dynamics way up in there. The two things where they say that government immediately set up a committee for investigate. President don't ask for a committee for set up for can look putting at the assessment of the damage so that we put resources and get the facility back on track. Yes, these are the two important things there.
How long?
You say, I will tell you, say the government will not be proactive. You go find out, say, over the last couple of days, we don't increase security in the facility. And as a result of that increase of security, then we able to contain the situation there. But in addition to that, we allow the investigation committee for go because they get a broader mandate. You understand, and for looking to this. But like we are saying, this is not a facility we don't own. As chairman of the Recreational Service Council, government don't they think creatively how for make sure say we operationalize the developmental aspect of correctional services. What in a correctional services? First we get prison. Now they call them correctional services, meaning we'll put prisoner in there, we'll support them with skills building so that when they go out, then go get skills for become productive in our society. And then they know they be there and the workshop back where they support them, then destroy them. For just telling us, say, government get we immediate plan now for deal with this thing, the long-term plan now for look at the possibility for relocate this prison with all what it need for become a functional and a viable correctional center.
Speaking to journalists during the visit, the Minister of Internal Affairs thanked all the security personnel in the country for their support during the incident. He said that it is impossible for any inmates to escape from custody and that it's just a portion of the center that was destroyed. He added that the Vice President was there to see and get first-hand information of what happened on the day of the incident.
Thank God for the effort of all the security sectors that what they do for make sure say the one they will have a plan for let them do at least that is now we don't go for talk about because it's not possible for them let anybody come out of the custody of this place. Now only the quantum of destruction will they cause. Now that make me as the Minister of Internal Affairs I also engage the Vice President who happen for be the chairman of the Sierra Leone Correctional Council for let himself can see firsthand what are the quantum of destruction will happen at this facility.
According to the Vice President, who also doubles as the chairman of the Sierra Leone Correctional Service, the report they got stated that a number of inmates and prison officers lost their lives in the 11 melee. I stated that they have stabilized the situation and that everything is under control. He mentioned that an entire block was destroyed and that they have moved the inmates to a safer and more secured facility. A very heavy presence of security personnel have been deployed within and around the correctional facility. For Multimedia Plus Online Television, I am Fatmata Binta Jalo.
The program's manager of Advocate, Julie Marema Sese, has described the incident at the Pademba Road Male Correctional Center as unfortunate. She said the response of government was quite unprofessional. She has been speaking to our reporter, Lucy Emanet Aliu.
Yeah, before we got, when we got our first case in Sierra Leone, we did a press release that the government should release prisoners, especially those with minor offenses, so that they can reduce overcrowding, they can decongest their prison. But much has not been done. So we continued with our engagement to talk to them, to see how they can release. On the 27th of April, we got the first COVID case from the prison facility. And UN bodies, WHO have been calling on governments all over the world to reduce overcrowding in prison due to this COVID-19 that is ravaging all over the world, this pandemic that is ravaging all over the world. It's rather unfortunate our government has still not responded to that. So we made another call on the 27th when this new case came in, that there is already a case and many officers have been exposed and many inmates also have been exposed, and even the court system has been exposed. They are isolated presently. So because of that, we are still calling. That's why we did this second call. Advocate did this second call to call on the government of Sierra Leone to release inmates, especially those with minor offenses, so that they can decongest the prison, so that many people will not come in contact with this COVID-19 at the prison. Unfortunate on the part of the government on the type of response that was made. It was also unfortunate on the part of the inmates who became lawless and riotous. But I would say it's an issue like you have your kid at home and your kid misbehaves and steals maybe 5 million. Will you kill that kid because of stealing 5 million? That kid is a minor. The government is the major. So we are expecting government apparatus to have responded in a much more professional way, rather than the loss of lives that we have seen on social media passing. And with that, we are still calling on the government. Most of them have done this with fear of the COVID-19, not only for themselves, but even for their families out there. They are not there to protect their families. And that's why most of them engage in short, riotous conduct at the CC, at the correctional centers. You see? So I'm calling still on behalf of Advocate, calling on the government to find ways to reduce the inmates, especially at the Pademba Road Maximum Prison.
While the Public Relations Officer of the Sierra Leone Bar Association, Israel Tijan Jah, has told Multimedia Plus that the 3-day national lockdown is a timely move in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. He speaks more in this interview.
Our press release and the request for a lockdown for 14 days was based on information and other material particulars we got from, for example, the Medical and Dental Association, particularly the Junior Doctors Association, who requested, among other things, that since there is evidence of community transmission of the coronavirus, they are requesting that government institute a 14 days lockdown. We, on the other hand, agreed because they are the professional people, and based on their knowledge and experience in the field, we deem it necessary to add to that voice to declare on call for a national lockdown for 14 days. Yes, we understand government's hesitance to declare a lockdown period for 14 days. But what we understood is that the incubation period for the coronavirus is usually 14 days. So in a period of 14 days, you would have people who are asymptomatic to have manifested or shown signs and symptoms of the virus. So that 14 days would have been the ideal period. However, since government has declared now a 3 days lockdown, it's still the same thing, because we can understand, like I said, we understand government's hesitance to impose the 14 days. One, you think about the economic impact on the country. Two, you think about the fact that the social amenities are not available for all Sierra Leoneans in case there is a 14 days lockdown. We remember even during the 3 days lockdown that many people violated the lockdown because some people went to fetch water, and we know that Guma does not supply water to all inhabitants in the Freetown municipality in particular, not to talk about Western Rural. So those are the concerns. We also understand that there are other things our brothers and sisters cannot afford, do not have sufficient money or income to perhaps stock their food store for 14 days. Some people depend on daily earnings to make ends meet, or daily money to feed their family. So we understand those constraints. And there was also a World Bank advisory that say African countries, unlike Western countries, should not adopt lockdown measures hook, line, and sinker. Because you think about Western nations where they have sufficient funds to even take care of unemployed citizens. Here we are even battling to take care of our citizens, even those who our basic amenities, including good health structures, good health infrastructures, medical facilities, you would call it, water supply, electricity. We are grappling with the basics. So why would we go for a 14 days lockdown? So we understand government constraint, but our press release was based on what the medical doctors advised.
If you are just tuning in, please be reminded that you are viewing content from Multimedia Plus online television. Now we are going now for a short break. Stay glued.
The package if you get even the haters testify, called the man when I was amateur. Couldn't holler them, my team is vicious fever, the Taliban. The game don't see.
The boy Caldanero, man, live and direct, man, within our studio, man. You know what I mean? Kiss the Throne EP coming. Just kindly wants to freestyle. Now this very good studio. The setup is good. Emanize and Django. Shout out to Una. Proud of what Una they do. You know, we need more of this in the industry.
Hey, this is Emerson, the last man standing. Of course, we're right here at Multimedia Plus. And we had a great session, and come check it out. It's a great studio, you know, great sounds, great producer, and support your own saloon content. Sugar Entertainment at Multimedia Plus. Peace.
Voiceover we there, single and soundtrack we there, documentary podcast we there.
As the president announced a 3-day national lockdown which commences on Sunday and ends on Tuesday, residents within the capital Freetown gave their views with regards to the lockdown and other related issues. Our reporter Lucy Emenet Aliu sent in this report.
Sierra Leone continues to record more cases of the novel coronavirus pandemic that has continued to ravage the world. In the wake of soaring numbers of corona-infected persons in the country, the government of Sierra Leone has announced another set of 3-day nationwide lockdown. But what do members of the public make of this announcement?
I don't feel fine. I'm not glad. I'm not glad because therefore don't tell me 1 week ahead, but then just cut our short from yesterday. 9 o'clock, now nobody lockdown. What they say now on my phone. I'm not glad for that day because I'm not get what you they eat. Then they can buy it. We look for money to the what they pull market. Nobody know they buy it. What's it they were allowed to do? I get 6 weeks in there. My man know that song. He do apply for more than go local. We know they for like come.
This lockdown yesterday pissed you off. This lockdown yesterday they announced and I don't know how I feel. Because they put markets where they sell, money no day. So when they announce this lockdown and I don't know how I feel. So I don't feel fine. Well, and we no get option. Pass someone now left all things to God. God I get for arrange for you. Because this, we no get what for do. We no go challenge government. See, just look on what the government see. See, so no get for government here. Because this lockdown, lock we so yes, it's fine because and for secure we go safe now right now. Business they go through.
Nothing no day. You no get money, kine. You see, not for it. All on till the day.
It's never don't see the concern because who are they can show the go. So no they. And by this time we are the concern. You see lockdown. That's the reason why my money for. No, no, it's one will sell, someone will get nothing, and back, someone will get nothing, and back, everybody will survive. No peace can get a lot of inside 3 days, no people for it for it. You say that last one, but I no nothing for it, no do nothing, no supply for the 3 days. I was left to go, I watch you, because I'm not around car, I can pay market. I know if I sell, I know if I don't sell, I was left to go. It's not so that answer me, no problem. What is the yeah, it's a big house with the snow fits. And the bigger, they are, like this series, they are able to go out, they give rest to people, lots of people survive. Some man not get, some man money, they go and show the car, some man get the car. No place to call up some man 3 days, no, not for car. They suffer.
Lockdown, like, now for welfare, it's not really easy. But now for the precaution, the way that they take, now for real benefits, because like when people they scatter, so it's not really easy. So it's necessary to some points, although it's advantageous as well. Because right now things stiff, money not there, but sell not think. We don't say with that well. People they are there to waiting they say, they listen. Because it's really not easy not to one great person fight. Now we all fight, now we all for come together, then we go this fight because it's not really easy. If the six prayer they get from one army. So I'm not there against that at all. It's better because like despite like the hardship with there at the country, but it's better like they do lockdown there. So that people like go get them for dinner at the house. We know the sick people the people come out, if they're sick let them come out. So they go show themselves, we go know the sick people at least like let the sick let they moderate small.
Previous measures to curtail the spread of the virus still stand aloft. Many Sierra Leoneans have been calling on the government to address some of the challenges that were encountered during the first lockdown. Others have also called that these intermittent lockdowns are directly obstructing the sanctity of the holy month of Ramadan. Reporting for Multimedia Plus Online Television, I am Lucy Emanet Aliyu.
Welcome back. You're watching news for Multimedia Plus Online Television with me, Eustace Victor Jones. We are continuing with more stories. Now, as the fight against COVID-19 intensifies, Joseph Abdullahi Kuruma donates COVID-19 kits and other items worth 5 million leones to the people of Constituency 109.
As the fight against the COVID-19 intensifies, different people and organizations have been donating food and non-food items to community people and organizations across Sierra Leone. Yusuf Sise is the youth chairman and former councillor of Constituency 109.
Of course, this is not the first time. If I can remember, 2 months ago, they don't donate robbers them where we share na the one constituency. Today again, they don't call me and my executive for come surrender them particular goods here to me as how na they watch them. Na rice, sugar, onions, and other small things them. This they go for two sections. One, if they go for the imams them. Two, if they go for the lockdown, at least the vulnerable people them, so that if na 10 corporate save they go get for their instead they feel for everybody, because this lockdown is automatic to be. We really need a lockdown, but I mean, therefore notice we but short. So I think I fit say if we do this good thing, so that the people away not able to forget, small they go get. And me as chairman of this particular constituency, I really appreciate and I believe say this way where this man they do are the good thing, and me believe say anybody so far where they come for can do good at the constituency, it better for them tell the executive, because the executive go know. If the executive don't know, we go tell you take in advance, but we don't know, you all know that the second thing this. For already see happen that the second thing this man I don't know see where they do good for the constituency.
The donor Joseph Abdul Kourma said he has been donating food items to Fonima community for some time now and said he will surely continue the gesture. The items donated include bags of rice, onion, oil, and assorted cooking items.
This, for me, not just something new to me, because the background I get is a development background. And when you get a development background, you don't have a community where they see high incidence of poverty, of hunger. I think as a development practitioner, it's very important for make you step in and see how best you help people in times of need. So we do this today, not two reasons make we do it. The item here work out one now for Muslim people. We know say this is not the month of Ramadan. We don't identify about 16 mosques within the constituency 109 where we distribute rice and sugar to the leadership of the mosques and for the people. Then also we know yesterday nine governments make a brazen declaration on this 3 days lockdown. So it's very important because the last lockdown I can imagine the experience we get with people. People will be really struggling for getting for it. People for even get basic water don't be get up. So I thought upon myself to get out my constituency executive say it's very important for me to come in this time and help with people. So we also get for provide food packs them to the vulnerable and poor people in this constituency. We know say this no boku, we better pass nothing. English say it's better than none. We also want to use this opportunity for call on other people within the constituency. May them come to the aid of the vulnerable people in this constituency. This constituency, you get a lot of poor people around. We get slum communities in here. People ain't really the suffer.
This donation was done for both the community people at Fonima and imams of 16 different mosques in the same community. The items were officially handed over to Madam Asana Tumara, who is the chairlady for the All People's Congress political party. Reporting for Multimedia Plus Online Television, I am Anthony Vandi.
As we continue to take precautionary measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus, let's take some health advice on preventive ways of keeping ourselves safe. That's all we have time for in today's news broadcast on Multimedia Plus Online Television. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallow visits the Freetown Male Correctional Center following the recent fracas at the facility. Now, residents within the capital Freetown raised concern on the 3-day lockdown instituted by the President. And also, the Public Relations Officer of the Sierra Leone Bar Association has told Multimedia Plus Online TV that the 3-day lockdown instituted by the government is timely in the fight against COVID-19. Well, that's how we draw the curtains down for today's news broadcast on Multimedia Plus Online Television. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your time with us. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Multimedia Plus Online Television for more updates, news broadcasts, programs, and interviews respectively. We are also on Facebook at Multimedia Plus. Please visit, like, and share our page. Until we meet again, I have been your presenter, Eustace Victor Jones. Stay safe and stay blessed. Goodbye.